Hi, this is Adrian.
And I'm Carrie.
And for this episode of the Scent Library, we will be talking about the Lalique Experience. So tell us more about the House of Lalique.
So Lalique has been around for quite a while, since the early 1900s. In the more recent times, they haven't been as big of a name in fragrance community as things like Cartier, Chanel, Dior, all the the real big designer and niche types of fragrances. But they have quite a few fragrances that are really excellent compositions, and their prices are really good. So there's definitely a good reason to take a look at some of these and think of adding a few of these to your collection for some some different options to wear at times when you're getting tired of certain other things, or just to kind of shake it up once in a while. So what do you think of this one? The first one is Lalique Pour Homme.
Well, it kind of smells like it's time. Like, I believe this came out in the 90s.
Yes, it came out in 1997.
And I expected those kind of fragrances usually have lots of notes.
Lots of notes, and this one does. We'll go over them in a couple of minutes. What was your experience of wearing it? How did you like it?
Well, it's really nice. It's kind of a time machine in a way.
It takes you back.
It takes you back. Yeah, I like the bottle and I like the engraving. It has that of a lion.
Yeah, it's a really attractive bottle.
Yeah.
So this one came out in 1997. And like you said, it has a lot of notes. Not nearly as many as some of them, but it still has quite a bit. I noticed that when I first got this and tried it, I was kind of like, oh, it's a 90 cent, it's nice, but then I didn't really do much with it. But when you wore it a couple times, I noticed that I really actually liked it a lot more than when I just smelled it, when I sprayed it on and kind of gave it a try, and then it's like, oh, well. So don't count this one out when you first smell it and just think, oh, it smells kind of retro. It has a couple different phases, and the dry down is really, really good. So it has top notes of grapefruit, bergamot, mandarin, orange, tangerine. It has some lavender, rosemary, cedar, iris, lily of the valley, jasmine, and it dries down with a really nice sandalwood, oak moss, patchouli, amber, and vanilla. Lots. But I do notice the nice fruity opening is really fresh, with a little hint of a kind of a barbershop scent and stuff with the lavender. And, it has a nice dry down and stuff, and it lasts for quite a while. What do you think? Is this a warm or cold weather scent?
I believe it's more of a cooler weather scent, but not too cold.
Yeah, not really winter. It's maybe like a spring scent is really good.
Yes,
Spring and fall. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So talking about neat bottles, here we have Equus. And this one, it looks like there's an engraving, but it's actually kind of more of like an etching. The other one, actually, the bottle, on the back of it, it's really indented. It's engraved in. This one is Lalique Equus Pour Homme. Equus, of course, the horse on it. This one came out in 2001, and it's a spicy amber fragrance. What were your thoughts on this one?
Definitely less notes.
Yeah.
I could smell like a little spicy, citrusy scent.
Mm-hmm.
So
warm or cool weather scent?
It's kind of the same as the other fragrance
cool.
we just
cool. But not a really cold weather scent. That's kind of my thoughts on it too. This one came out in 2001, so about 4 years after the Pour Homme. And it has top notes of bergamot, lemon, and citron, and then middle notes juniper, cardamom, violet leaf, nutmeg, and then base notes sequoia, vetiver, benzoin, leather, and musk. So I really like this one, from the top notes and the middle and stuff. The base notes and stuff, they're nice. It kind of dries down. It's pretty tame. It's certainly not offensive, but it doesn't seem to me to be anything like wildly different. Okay. Now, this one I think is what Lalique is really kind of known for today. Encre Noire. And this is actually, it says it's a cologne. But for cologne, it lasts a long time and it really projects.
I like it for its vetiver scent.
Yeah, it's spicy. Now talk about changing on the note profile. This goes down from lots of notes from the first one down to basically just a few notes.
Yes.
Yeah, what was your thoughts on this one? This one came out in 2006, by the way.
Well, yeah, it's a little more modern because usually we have lots of notes in the 80s and 90s. And then when 2000 arrives, the 2010s, 2020s, we have less notes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and this one, I really noticed it for the vetiver.
Right, this is a dark, earthy scent. This one, Encre Noire, it means like an incredible night, or incredible, and then noir, it's a evening type of a scent. I definitely don't think of this as like a daytime or office scent, but I don't see why you couldn't wear it for that. It's a really wonderful evening scent, like, going out or something like that. It's sort of formal. I think it smells like dressy, classy, sophisticated. Certainly it smells like it costs a lot more than it does.
I think it smells good during spring, when you can smell like all the flowers blossoming and the grass growing and stuff like that because of the vetiver.
Right. Yeah. The notes are top notes of cypress, middle notes vetiver, and base note cashmere wood and musk. So pretty simple breakdown. I think the vetiver lasts a long time. The cypress is kind of a aromatic woody scent that comes off the top. The vetiver and the musk, I think, last a long time and are fairly gentle. It has a little bit of a wild, earthy opening, but this is definitely not one that you should spray on and head out if you've never worn it. Wear it a little bit, get some feedback from people and stuff to see, how many sprays you're putting on and how that does, because it's a sort of a strong scent.
Yes, it is.
Now, let's move on to a new version of Encre Noire, Encre Noire A L'Extreme.
So, more vetiver, because this has two vetiver notes.
Two vetivers, right. And this one is an eau de parfum strength. So, a little bit different in how it projects. It's maybe not as loud, lasts longer. I think it's more sophisticated. Still, I think really an evening scent, although I suppose you could wear it as an all-day scent too. Really nice notes. This one came out in 2015, and it has top notes cypress, elemi, bergamot, middle notes of Haitian vetiver, then just vetiver, incense, orris, and base notes of benzoin, sandalwood, and patchouli.
Yeah.
So what was your experience with this one? How did you like this
Vetiver on vetiver.
Yeah.
That's how it smells.
If you had to pick one or the other that you would keep between the Encre Noire and Encre Noire A L'Extreme,
I will go with A L'Extreme.
That's kind of what I think too. I don't think you really need to own both of them. And I think if I had a choice and only could choose one, I would choose A L'Extreme. It's the other one and it's a little bit more gentle.
Yes.
So definitely a good addition to the wardrobe. And really the price is great on these. They're extraordinarily good prices for really well crafted fragrances.
Okay.
Now, this one really takes it in a different direction than Encre Noire.
Hommage
A L'homme.
A L'homme.
This is an eau de toilette strength, and it's a woody, spicy fragrance that came out in 2012. What was your thoughts on this one?
Not exactly my favorite, but it's nice to wear, and it has oud, and I like fragrances that has oud and stuff, kind of spicy with an oud note.
How would you describe the oud in this? Is it a fresh balsamic type oud or animalic?
A fresher oud.
Yeah.
It seems more of a freshy versus like a deep animalic scent.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. This one is not all that well known, but this one is a really kind of a high-end fragrance, and I don't know why This one doesn't get a lot more attention. This one is by Christine Nagel and Mathilde Bajois. Top notes, violet leaf, saffron, and bergamot. Middle notes are violet, black pepper, pimento leaf, and then base notes, oud, musk, and
Cistus incanus.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what that
it's
is.
It's a flower.
Is it? Okay, I'm glad you knew. That one kind of stumped me. Okay, but yeah, this one's a sophisticated, kind of freshy, but sort of sophisticated and deep with the oud. This one is not easy to find, so if you're ever interested in it, pick it up. The price isn't astronomical, and it's one I think that you'll like. All right, let's move on to another one that looks the same almost as the Encre Noire.
It's Ombre Noire.
Ombre Noire. Ombre Noire. Yeah, so instead of Encre Noire, it's Man Night. Ombre Noire.
Ombre.
This one came out in 2017. Now, this one's a real sleeper. This one is hard to find. For quite a while, you could only order it directly through the Lalique website. Recently, I found it on a couple places where you could get it through discounters like Fragrance by Canada or Fragrance Net.
Dark and spicy.
Dark and spicy, exactly. This one is has top notes of fig leaf, not fig, but fig leaf, mint, and bergamot. Then middle notes, tobacco leaf, cinnamon, and papyrus. And base notes, cognac, myrrh, olibanum, cedar, and tonka bean. So this really is a rich, dark, spicy one. How did you like this one?
I liked it. It's definitely something I'd wear during nighttime.
Yeah. This one I think is a really sophisticated scent. It's, like I said, it's a little hard to find, and if you can find it, and the price is going to be more than most of the other Laliques, but it's also a real step up. This one's practically like niche quality. Okay, so one last one. This one is White in Black.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on this one?
Kind of popular, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I reviewed this in my Hiligaynon channel, it had a lot of views.
Yeah, I think this one, it came out really recently in 2021. And I think this one is a definite attempt to kind of go a little bit more mainstream. It's not, too crazy much, but it has quite a few. For the top, it has olibanum, bergamot, grapefruit. For middle notes, cardamom, lavender, pink pepper, elemi resin. And base notes, vanilla, ambroxan, white cedar, and tolu balsam and patchouli.
Smells sweet.
Yeah. This one, I think, is their attempt to kind of go a little bit more into the mainstream, sweeter smelling fragrances and stuff, but still kind of stays in their vein of some of the mix of fragrances and stuff. So overall, what are your thoughts on the Lalique line that we talked about today?
Well, definitely something that I would be proud that I've talked about it. Mm-hmm. It's not as well known as, like you said, the other fragrance houses, mm-hmm. but they have a really good offering.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. Is it's like these have there certainly are some more than just these fragrances. These are just kind of what we've got to talk about. But there's a nice set here from kind of like spicy, woody fragrances to sweeter, almost any kind of wear fragrances to some real freshies. So, what you see here today, you could probably, for maybe one bottle of Creed, you could get almost all of these.
Wow.
So, you can definitely look at these as a way to round out some of your scent profiles that you would like to get into, to have something in that range to wear without breaking the bank.
Yes. You can get all 7 for a bottle of Creed.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yep, and they're good quality and they last pretty long. That's one of the things I really like about them too. For the most part, my experience, I would have to say, most of them last a good 6 or so hours with fairly good projection, and sillage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, thanks for watching this episode of the Scent Library. We'll be back for more.
Yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.